So how good are you with a chainsaw?
Oh, I'm an expert. Oh yeah, no problems killing anything with a chainsaw.
Were you before the movie, or did you get an expert by being in the movie?
No, I've been an expert with a chainsaw from probably 2.5 years old. Really started in my formative years, chainsaw sharpening, chainsaw juggling, and then it became chainsaw killing.
You go on the road with that? Is it like a show for a circus? Or?
No, but I like the way you think.
It's very dangerous. I think people will like be stuck to their...
Dutch Comic-Con right now, I could probably do that as a little sideshow. I'm thinking people would come to that. Sign chainsaws for people.
Just do it on stage next time during your panel.
Brains and beauty.
But do make it like at your own risk.
Yes, yeah. You might not want to sit in the front row. You might lose a hand.
Well, did you find your bike back?
Oh. I just left it.
Did you like rent it or something?
Yeah. You know, it's they're kind of like 27-inch wheels, and they're all the same bike. Everyone's got the similar seat, same handlebars. Very little to differentiate between the bikes that are out there. But I'm thinking I'll go back today and maybe find it. Yeah.
You brought your key with you just in case.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. It is a good introduction for like the Netherlands, though, because bikes are around.
Very, very beautiful country. Really, I'm so enamored by it. I've been walking around Utrecht, and we went to Amsterdam, and just the canals. They're so picturesque, and the background of all these magnificent churches, and so culturally enlightening. It's just amazing to be here.
I recently watched BH 90210. It aired for like 10 years, and now we have this show, and it was so much fun to watch. What was it for you to come back?
Oh, it was great. It was like summer camp, working with my friends again. We've all remained close. Just because we're not working together doesn't mean that we don't speak to each other. We are close. We worked very closely for 10 years at a very formative age, and it's kind of like family.
I did like the way you kind of like play with your like
selves.
Yeah.
You like the way we play with ourselves?
Yes. Well, is it? Well, not in a dirty way. This is a good start of the interview. With your
persona.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of say in that? Was that just written for you, and did you just love it?
It was intended that we were going to play ourselves in a heightened version of our own real realities. So there were threads of truth in every storyline. It was usually made a little bit more grand for the dramatic effect, but it was all founded in reality.
And of course, there's the whole like kind of murder type thing going on.
Murder?
Well, the dolls, you know what I mean. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I mean that's just like so out there.
I just thought it was good, good fodder for story. Yeah. It kind of helped propel us in a direction, obviously that, well, maybe not obviously, but that was not real. Yeah. We never got pieces of our dolls shipped to us. Just to heighten storylines a little bit, to give us reasons to come together, to create tension and conflict. And
in the beginning, there's like, before the opening credits, the little bits about going back to your...
We always did what we'd call a runner, a flashback. And my flashback, I think it was in the 6th episode where...
Cut the hair.
Yeah, cut that hair. Cut that mullet. And don't ever wear belly shirts again. Just, things that have tortured me forever since I was photographed looking like that or wearing those clothes. I just thought it wasn't a good idea for Steve of today to go back to talk to Steve from 1991.
And we have a question of one of our fans. He said, like, will there be more? Is this it? Or do you think there might be like a second go?
No, I think this is going to be it.
Sorry, Dennis.
Yeah. It was a summer limited series. When we did it, we knew it was going to be 6 episodes. Didn't expect it to go further. If it did, it would have been great. It would have been a lot of fun. But I think, it's time to just move on, and maybe we'll revisit it somewhere in the future, some other medium, some other way.
But I really loved it. So
it's interesting. I hear that a lot from the fans. They wanted it to continue, even though it wasn't what they were used to in the 90s. They just liked the fact that we were all together again. They liked that whole meta aspect of it, where we were kind of dancing around our real lives. The interactions and the storylines were a lot of fun for the fans. So,
talking about another fun storyline, you are also very familiar for your character Finn in Sharknado.
Oh yeah, Sharknado. That was a crazy great run of movies. We made 6 of those movies.
I was going to say, did you think when you started playing it there were going to be 5 more times that you got to reprise it?
No, I read that first one. I didn't even think that one was going to make it out of the box. To tell you the truth, it was such a bad movie, I didn't want to do it.
For real?
Oh, for real. It was not something I auditioned for. It was an offer. And usually offers come down the pipe every once in a while, but they're not really quality content. And here was another example of that. When I read the story, I saw there was this one scene where my character would pull himself up a rope because there was a shark chomping up the rope out of water. And I was thinking, well, if this was James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, it'd be awesome. But I didn't even know this director. I knew they had a micro budget. I couldn't imagine they would be able to pull this off with any kind of quality in the content. So I told my wife, I said, I can't do this movie. This is going to be the end of me. And with my baby Penna in her arms and my daughter Mia, my baby Penna in her belly and Mia in her arms, she told me, you need to go to work. And it was kind of like a dose of reality where I realized, wow, I'm going to have to do this movie. I have so much fun, but this was an example of, like, you know what? You got to do whatever you got to do for the family. And I was like, okay. Turned out to be 6 movies.
And did you enjoy it? And what's your favorite part about playing Finn?
Just that he's kind of he's an everyday man who goes to great lengths to protect and safeguard his family. He goes to extraordinary lengths for others. It's very romantic. I like that it's a story of family pulling together. And anytime I get a chance to play in an action adventure within the context of a science fiction movie, count me in.
And how bad does an inside of a shark smell?
Oh, it's horrible. Obviously, it was a prosthetic. They made this internal structure, but it was all gooey and it was absolutely disgusting. I had to roll around in that for 3 or 4 hours. It was disgusting. Yeah. It looked good. It looked good. So that's really all that matters.
And is it true that Donald Trump was supposed to play the president before he became a president?
I think they checked to see if he would be available, and he was interested. Obviously, he was busy preparing for something else.
Yeah. Well, it would have been funny, though. Swamp Thing, what drew you to that? Because it's like a superhero
oh my God,
show.
Are you kidding me? Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
The ability, again, to, first of all, to audition.
Yeah.
To play Dan Cassidy, who turns into the Blue Devil, which is a superhero. When I got that script and that audition, I was like trembling. Any chance to play a superhero in a DC project is, a dream come true. So with all the excitement of an 8-year-old boy who loves cartoons and comic books, I workshopped the script and I really got prepared and I went and auditioned for it and I got the part. I was on cloud 9. I was so excited about this. This is a top of the food chain project. They've spent about $100 million on 10 episodes, and you can see it. All the visual effects were practical effects. They weren't done in a computer. 90% of them were done with puppetry or animatronics or whatever the Hollywood magic is that they don't use computers for. It was unbelievable. And then, of course, working with James Wan, who was the director of Aquaman. He produced Swamp Thing, and Len Weissman, who is an amazing director, all the Underworld movies, and then Die Hard, he did some of those. Worked with some incredible people, Jennifer Beals, Will Patton, Kevin Durant, Crystal Reed, Andy Bean, Henderson Wade, just tremendously talented group of actors, and the material was spectacular. There was a 35,000 square foot warehouse studio that they flooded to make a swamp. There was a boat inside, the thing was 8 feet deep, a barge with a techno crane on it that could extend out 40 feet into the woods and follow people through the woods and then come back onto the water. It was just They spared no expense. You got to watch it. Right now it's on the DC Universe, which is a streaming service like Netflix. It's not available in Europe. I think it is in the UK, but it'll be out. 10 episodes, some of the best horror television ever made. Bang my fist on the table. You got to see this.
I already checked out some video like on YouTube, of course, to like see
Blue Devil.
Of course, I went straight to the I think it's like the point he almost turns.
Yeah.
But that was it looked great. I want to see more.
Yeah. Everybody wants to see more. You hear that, Warner Brothers? Everybody wants to see more.
I was going to say, because it's cancelled, right? Or is it?
10 episodes and that was it. I think there's something with the bureaucracy at the company. There was a changing of the guards, and I honestly don't know why. I mean, this could go on for years.
What's the one way to revive it? Because, I mean, it has to happen.
Hashtag bring back Swamp Thing.